All I can say is I hope you've got a heater. Good morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. It is 29 degrees as we start this little session together this morning. How do you feel? I hope you're warm. I got two heaters, and I'm starting to thaw out a little bit. I get cold quick. I'm sure there's a lot of you that do like I do. We got frost everywhere this morning as you're waking up. Make sure to warm up your car before you go, if it's safe in your neighborhood. I don't want to give advice and your car will be stolen from you. Keep in mind with that, if you've got two keys, use that, one to run it, one to lock it till you come back. Always a good measure to have those if you have to warm up something. As we get ready for this, do y'all realize Christmas is coming? Today, December the 7th. As once was said, a day that will live in infamy. It was. Pearl Harbor. We remember that today, and the men and women who lost their lives for our country. We shall never forget. I hope we don't. It seems that our country often forgets things. What happened in New York? We've almost forgotten that, haven't we? Let's not forget this. An important day in our history and who we are and what makes us what we are. We've got a lot of stories that's gone on that are shaping America. If you're waking up, we'll tell you about those. Right now, we need a good word, as we always do. Good morning, Jeff Lewis. Good to see you there. Alan Carlisle, good morning. We'll be right back as we'll bring the preacher man in now.
We all love the movies where the hero comes in to save the day. This could be a superhero. It could be just a regular, everyday guy. No matter who, we all love a good rescue story. And I experienced this firsthand. When I was around 4 years old, our extended family was swimming at a friend's pool. And out of all the cousins swimming, I was the youngest one there. And I really hadn't quite mastered the act of swimming. And the truth is, I could stay afloat for a little bit, but eventually I would sink. I didn't have my floaties, and I wasn't allowed to go in the deep end. Well, I got a little too close to the slope where it starts to transition into the deep end. And for whatever reason, this slope, it was pretty slippery. So as I started to get on it, I tried to run up it with my feet. I tried to hustle best that I could. And though I was able to maintain myself for a bit, eventually I went under. And as I went below the water, I tried to pump my arms faster and faster and kick my legs harder and harder. Yet all I could do was watch as I slowly descended further and further. This is it, I thought. I had a good run, but I'm about to die. Then out of nowhere, my cousin Daniel splashed through the water above me. He grabbed me, he dragged me up, and he set me on safe ground outside the pool. I could not contribute anything to my rescue. I could only be grateful. Friend, the same is true for anyone the Lord saves. Ephesians 2 has one of my favorite phrases in the whole Bible. But God. We were dead, but God. We were lost, but God. We were hopeless, but God. But God what? But God, who is rich in mercy because of His great love that He had for us, made us alive with Christ even though we were dead in our trespasses. You're saved by grace. Rest in that today. And if you've never trusted in Christ, there is nothing He desires more than to save you. May God bless you today, and remember, change begins in you.
The Change Begins in You is brought to you in part by Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville, Patrick Allen Companies, Mitchell Tire and Wrecker in Collinsville, Mounty Cabinetry, and Parker Marketing Insurance Advisors. And good morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray, and welcome back as we're looking at the temperatures. Billy Spencer joining us from Gatlinburg, Tennessee this morning. Says it's 27 there. That wind chill factor in Gatlinburg is 24. Has the snow started up there yet? I've always thought this would be a beautiful time if you could.
At least up top.
Yeah, any cabin you rent, though, is always a driveway like this, and I'm afraid it goes. My Mississippi self probably couldn't handle that much snow and roads. But it's slick from time to time. But I don't know what it's like there. Conahatta, Mississippi, checking in at 29 as well this morning. Richard, how are you, Chief? Good morning to you. Hope you're feeling well. Clarkdale joining us. Mac, Charlotte, all the way from Philadelphia. Thank y'all so much. We had another debate last night, and yet again, does it matter? No. We know how that's going to turn out in the end. Everybody trying to make a mark for themselves. And is this a political game that I'm about to tell you? Because this broke a few weeks ago and enraged a lot of people. If you're a smoker, the ban on menthol cigarettes is coming to America. Biden's going to do it. But now they're holding off until 24. Are they trying to wait till after the election? Oh, I've heard voters that smoke these were extremely upset. I'll put it that way. I had to really think about that. But a lot of people like that. Is it the government's responsibility? We'll see, but the Biden administration looking at only banning menthol cigarettes. We'll see what happens with that. The good guys, they're supposed to protect you, aren't you? You have a little bit too much to drink sometimes, and I guess it could go south. U.S. Marshals, 2 of them on a plane, headed to another country to bring back a fugitive. Again, this is accusations. We'll see how it turns out, but several passengers, including one lady, said, well, they had a little bit too much to drink, and they got, is the word Odie friendly? Can I use that word for when you want to reach out and kind of like Ma Bell and touch someone? One of the marshals has been cleared. He got sent home. The other's still detained as the rest of officials show up. That was on a flight leaving New York. Whole airplane full of people. There's a lot of witnesses on this. Now, I don't think it was anything excessive, but it was some Ma Bell.
Yeah. Snippets in there.
Yeah. So we'll see where this turns out. Not looking good for him. Rip, boy, is he a favorite of Yellowstone. He's got a problem. He started a coffee company. Nothing wrong with that, is it? Well, the guy that developed Yellowstone has a brand. His logo, well, Rip's logo looks very similar to it. Sheridan suing Rip over it. We'll see who wins in the end. Could get nasty on that as well. The show coming to an end not too long from now. McDonald's, they were saying they want to expand. 9,000 more restaurants they want to add. They want to do that by 2027. That's some growing to do.
They are just combined with Dollar General.
Yeah, Dollar General's got y'all beat. I don't know if y'all know that. Just whip up one next to one everywhere there is. You can put one inside. Now, you'd have to step over everything to get to the counter, but you'd eventually get, we know that. I'm not fooling anybody. There's a rare amount of Dollar Generals that you can walk down an aisle all the way to the end. We have some good managers, but most, let me step over this. Whoops.
No buggy gonna fit that.
No buggy's got to go. And I guess it's from lack of employees, people not wanting to work. Is that what it is?
They don't have a storage room.
Yeah, they don't have a storage room, do they? Whatever comes in, they've got to put in the aisle. Yeah, the stores just aren't big enough. But I'm not running y'all down. I know y'all work hard. I visit with y'all often. Y'all bring us the products we can't get anywhere else. Bless it. This is not going to shock anyone, I don't think. We see it barely passes it, but as we go to the population of Texas, what is the number one race? Latinos. They now outpace everybody in Texas. That's no surprise. A little over 40% now is Latino in the state of Texas. As we continue looking at things going on this morning, let me move over here. Let's see here. Oh, we have a professor. And this is Las Vegas, Nevada is where this takes place. He's 67 years old. He applied for a job. He already worked there. He didn't get the promotion. Didn't work out so well for him. He killed 3 staff members over it. The cops ended up taking him out. What makes people snap like this? If you don't get the job, you don't get the job. He couldn't handle it. This close to Christmas on top of it. 3 people lost their lives, and then the police would remove him. You never know what's in somebody's head, do you? Always be cautious of how you handle people and how this is done. We often read about how someone is terminated and, well, they come back to visit later. Always be careful. The debate. I'm going to skip that. Let's see here. Have y'all seen the video of this? They finally arrested the guy. And let me just put this in the background here. This is from Daily Mail. Let's see this here. See this guy? He's coming back up here in just a second. Right here, this guy is a dad. He's walking his child in a stroller, and this guy just comes up and sucker punches him for no reason, knocks him out. Baby seat turned over. Could have been worse than it was. They finally found this guy and arrested him. He was 29 years old. It was a 10-month-old in that baby stroller that got knocked over. We see this more and more every day across America. And a lot of times it's ladies that get sucker punched. I've seen that. Be on a street corner minding their own business and somebody walks up and just strikes them. Is it gang related? Is it some type of initiation? I'm not sure. But we do see this more and more often in America. And you cannot always know what is coming from behind you. You can be caught off guard. You can be thinking of something and walking and somebody come upon you like that. But Wanda, you're right. A lot of hard-working people at Dollar General. I agree with you, without a doubt there. From Tennessee, Miss Joyce Snowden Godwin joins us. Thank you. A child, a 9-year-old, and I'm assuming that this would be a parent that had been remarried, a 9-year-old boyfriend. They weren't married, it was a boyfriend, attacked the mother. The 9-year-old calls police. They've got the whole thing on video to where a mother was brutally beaten by a boyfriend. He's headed to 4 years in jail for that. That's probably not long enough for doing something like that. Hurting a woman. That's another one of these things that was frowned upon. That was like the ultimate thing that you never did, was lay a hand on a lady. And we see it more and more in America to where it's just socially acceptable. Well, it's not. And it should not be. Oprah, now, does everybody follow Oprah? Well, I know you see her every once in a while. I don't watch her TV shows or follow her page, but every now and then she'll appear on the news. Yeah. And she's ever-changing, just like she was on her TV show. She'll get skinny. She'll get bigger, that's the word. She'll have some cornbread. She's back to the skinny again. And I go to pull this up. Let's show this picture of Oprah this morning. She's downsized. Look at this. Way to go, Oprah. Yeah. Got a figure again. Me and Odie almost like the cornbread. We like cornbread. But congratulations on that. Anybody that goes on a diet, I think most people know it's one of the hardest things you'll ever do. Food, is that not the biggest temptation in the world?
It is.
It's hard to back away from.
Yeah, you can't get it in.
Because me and Odie discussed this earlier. Banana pudding, black-eyed peas, or the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders. We're going with cornbread.
Cornbread and black-eyed peas.
Y'all go do your pom-pom somewhere else. This bothers me. And I don't know how America handles these things in school districts, but they have dozens of public school teachers in Oakland. This is Oakland, California, is where we are. They plan to hold unauthorized pro-Palestinian lessons in their teachings in school. I don't know how to fix that. You got to have a strong superintendent and definitely a school board to back the principals to straighten this stuff out. Susan, and tell me if I'm pronouncing this right, Susan Sarandon, she's all smiles, but she's been dropped by her publicist for remarks that she made against Israel. And they dropped her like a hot cake. She's out on the street now. Tragedy in New York City. I won't show the video to this because it's just too horrifying. As a robber went into a restaurant, he's robbing it. He's got the money that he needs, and it's not a Waffle House, but I'll describe it as a Waffle House, to where you've got the waitress on this side, and you've got the bar stools here, like you're sitting at a counter eating. He gets the money from the young lady, and then shoots the customer in the face who was not facing him at all. Shoots him right in the face. Oh, boy, that's bad. Biden so far is refusing to commit to the 24 debates. We'll see what becomes of it. Says he's going to get there. He's 81 at this point. I really don't think they want him there. We'll see who they choose as this moves along. Here's another problem that we have in America that bothers me anymore, because we could fix this. We've got the technology. Like they said, the $6 million man, we've got the technology. We can do this. America's Christmas supplies may not get here. Did you catch that key word that I said? May not get here? As we see that the Panama Canal is down. Tankers can't get through that. But wait a minute, what about that solution of made in America? Oh, if we were to build our own supplies, we wouldn't have to wait on other countries, would we? Yet another problem we have. We've really got to get back to supplying our own, but yet we don't. We need a man in that White House, I don't care what side of the fence he's on, whether it's Republican or Democrat, that understands that. Manufacturing, you've got to have it. Don't tell me we don't have enough Americans to work. We do. There's tons without jobs. We have, I brought this up one time before, and I got several comments sent to me that said I was picking on a particular breed of dogs. Well, I'm not. Bulldogs. We all know that they're dangerous. Had the police not arrived on the scene of this, as we talk about this next story, Fort Dodge is where it happened. A lady was attacked by 3. Brutally attacked her face, scarred her. She is losing both legs due to this. How horrifying. The police took out the animal as they arrived on the scene to help her. Had they not gotten there when they did, she wouldn't have made it. But we do hear lots of stories on this to where people are attacked. If you've got one, make sure what you have. Don't get babies near them. And never, ever let a child near a dog that's eating. I don't care what kind it is. If it's a little 2-inch tall pup, never let it. That's their world, their territory, and food is very important to them. Bradley Cooper, y'all remember him? That's a big name. He's an entrepreneur, is what we'll call him, in New York City. He's opening up, you know those little food stands, the little wagons? He's got one. He worked it yesterday. His ex-wife even come bought a sandwich from him. Boy, I sure am proud of him. Now, don't think it's hard times. That's not what he's having. He's just he's having fun. That's going to be his. Somebody will work there. He worked the first day there. Odie, you ready to buy a calendar?
It's that time.
A woke-free beer company. Well, they're offering the sale of calendars. And it's like American is the way they're pushing this. With every calendar sold, they're going to give 10% of the money to a foundation that fights the battle of the trans athletes, of people that identify as one thing, and we'll see where that goes. Will it sell a lot? It might.
Yeah.
I can't show the calendar as bad as Odie's wanted me to.
Yeah.
Odie's looking,
Oh, I'm looking on.
but I can't show that. You can get a sneak peek at it. Google it there. Coming up, we're going to tell you all about what went on last night in the last 24 hours in our communities and around the world. That's on the way beginning at 7. Don't miss out on that. We got Christmas parades to talk about. Also, we'll have a guest from the Children's Museum this morning. Whoa, it's a lot going on. Y'all stay close. We'll be right back with your forecast next.
Have a sleigh full of fun this season with gifts and accessories from Al's Garden and Gift. The spirit of Christmas shines in the Christmas shop with ornate and novelty-themed trees, snow globes, nativity sets, garland, ornaments, and more. Now 50% off. Unique accessories, gourmet foods, gift baskets, and certificates are perfect for holiday parties and gifts. Add color outdoors with beautiful blooming winter flowers. And it's the perfect time to plant fruit trees and shrubs too. Magical charm and beauty await your home this wonderful season. Merry Christmas from Al's Garden and Gift.
The Precast Group, offering you the best selection when it comes to a storm shelter. Located on 145 South in Meridian, where they offer above-ground shelters that can be installed in your home as you're built-in, or conveniently located right outside your home if it's already built. They also offer storm shelters that can be installed in a slight bank or on flat ground. Protect your family today with a very affordable storm shelter from the Precast Group. Highway 145 South, 601-482-0003. The Precast Group.
And welcome back. Let's get into that forecast. Did I mention that it's cold? Brr, 29.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
As we pull it up, let's go back to our record highs and record lows. 1998, it was 84 degrees. Whew, hot one there. Back in 37, we got down to 15 degrees this morning. We're a little bit warmer than that this morning, about double, but boy, it sure is cold. As we look ahead to today, 62 is going to be our high as we get into Columbus, 60 over toward the river, 64. As we go to Alabama, we'll see Tuscaloosa at 60, and even in the 50s there in Birmingham today, about 59. As we look to our forecast of what's up and coming Saturday. Severe weather is expected. It'll be mainly in the afternoon, right there before dark into the evening hours. We'll be here behind the scenes watching this. Now, this is going to change as we look at this map. It's showing that here somewhere around Brandon, west to Jackson, is showing all of this severe weather. East toward the Meridian area, Philadelphia, Newton is showing a level 1. This can quickly change to a level 2 all the way to the state line. We'll watch it. Tornadic activity is possible in this, damaging wind gust of 60 miles an hour, and hail, golf ball size hail. That's tough for me to say some days. We're watching this very closely. Join us. We'll keep you up to date with the very latest of that as that develops. We see that across Mississippi, it's cool. Down south of us, toward the ocean there on the Gulf Coast, it's cooler this morning. Warmer in California as we look at our 7-day forecast. 61 today, 40 tonight. Not as cold. We'll see 70 to end the week, and then that temperature is going to shoot up for this rain and thunderstorms that are coming in on Saturday. 70% chance of the bad stuff there. Low of 47 that night. Then we're cooling off Sunday morning when you get up. 56 is what you'll find with a low back down into the 30s on Sunday night. 31. By Monday, we hit 57, and we're staying in the 50s midweek as we go another week. By the following weekend, we'll hit 60 again as we head toward Christmas. The shortest day of the year showing up there at 58. Shortest day of the year. Daylight will end a little bit sooner then. As we look at the fishing forecast, Chet tells us, be on the water today, somewhere about right now, till about 8:30 this morning. Should be good there. The wind's going to be light, southeast wind becoming south 5 to 10. Now, what happens when we move over from fishing, from Chet to deer hunting? Perfect time today. Started at 6:37 and run to about 8:40 this morning. So if you got to be in the woods, it's time to be there. Second major time will be after dark. You've got a slight chance of good hunting for about an hour there right after lunch. It's not the best, but it's the best that we can do for you. Southeast wind again becoming 5 to 10 with that. Brought to you by our friends at Collinsville Meats there. If you've got a deer, make sure to drop it by and have it processed. It's great stuff. Already coming up on 6:53. We're going back live in a couple of minutes from now. Connie's going to be in with us. We're going to learn all about Collinsville. Y'all get ready. Santa Claus is coming to town. Or I guess I should say Santa. I've heard it said Santy before. I'm sure you have too. We'll be right back. Get a blanket, put another log on the fire at 29 here at the Scotty Ray Report. Odie's standing by. He's got all edumacated over there with his phone. We'll be right back.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners.